the struggle of getting to the next level in God. Some of you know God shows you where you're supposed to be. He shows you where you're going to be, but you can't get there because the devil got a hit out on you. And it seems like you always dodging bullets. It seems like God, I want you, but you always dodging bullets. Something always coming up because the devil got a target on your back.
Right. Come on. Come on.
Am I talking to anybody?
Come on. Hallelujah.
The devil had a target on my father's back. He pastors all over the country. My father died before. 40 years ago, he had a massive heart attack and died because he was running from God. Those of you who are running from God, there are many people who are dead and have not had the opportunity to bounce back and be raised from the dead because they're running from God. God wanted him to preach. He said, I can't preach. Who are you to tell God what you can't do?
Come on now.
Right.
He said, I can't preach. God allowed Satan to kill him. Massive heart attack. They called the ambulance. Our house was separated about this close to the tracks, just like this church. But the only problem is you couldn't get through. It was a dead end. The tracks was the dead end. The ambulance came on our street, but they was on the other side of the tracks. Or 40 years ago. I'm gonna say he died, turned cold, eyes popped in the back of his head. Anybody ever seen death? You know what it looked like. And she said, what are we gonna do? Because the ambulance couldn't get there. But how do you know God is already? He quicker than an ambulance.
Yeah.
Her pastor and another man who had been raised from the dead by Bishop Mason in John Gaston Hospital in Memphis. It's documented. They were standing there. And this pastor said, what are we going to do? And he said, God said, look who's standing next to you. Elder Baker. Didn't I raise him from the dead? The same power that raised him from the dead. I want you to call forth Elder Wilson's spirit back into this world. And he said, Elder Wilson, come forth. Nothing. Elder Wilson, come forth. See, the old saints, we call God before we call the doctor. Y'all don't want to. We call God the saints. Sims know about this. They taught us.
Yes.
Call God.
Yes.
I know some of the old saints, we're not knocking this because you got to use wisdom. But some of the old saints, their faith is so strong. They have the testimony now. They ain't never took medicine.
That's right.
Medicine is good if your faith ain't there.
Amen.
But what I'm trying to tell you, the reason why he survived death. There is nothing else that you can survive that's greater than death. When you survive death,
My Lord.
and so the devil couldn't kill him 40 years ago. When he killed him, God brought him back.
Come on.
2 years ago, had a wreck. Driving on the highway. Somebody else was driving. Somebody hit him from the back. Never been his fault. Car spin around 3 times. They on the highway 55, and it was getting ready to cross the median into the other side of the traffic in the wire. Wouldn't let it.
My Lord.
He survived that. But this time somebody hit him head on.
Jesus.
Head on. Cut him out of the car. Now why did I tell y'all this? Why am I telling you this? Because we could have been planning a funeral for my father. And he's in the hospital. He was released and now he's in a nursing home getting rehab. Gonna be another 2 to 3 weeks. But he survived that.
Yes.
And I just want to build your faith today.
Come on.
And I don't care how bad it looks. It's going to be all right. Tell your neighbor it's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right, y'all.
Come on, tell somebody it's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right. Thank you, Jesus. Glory to
He survived. You survived. Don't care what you've been through. If you're looking at me today, you survived.
Hallelujah.
Survived.
Hallelujah.
In your mind. Some of you go through mind battles, and the devil tell you you're not worth it. You're ugly, you'll never be none, don't nobody love me. But if you can hear my voice, you have survived all of that.
Yes.
No music. Listen, Jeremiah 31. Let's read. We're going to walk through the word. So here is this story. The children of Israel, which was God's chosen people. How many of you guys are chosen?
Hallelujah.
So here's the children of Israel. Verse 1, God, the first thing before God does anything, he has to establish order. Somebody shout, order is important. Young people, you must understand that as ambitious and eager as you are, amen, to be successful, to be a baller, to be a boss, or to be on fleek and all that type of stuff, all that's cool, but you must understand that there is something called order. Somebody shout order. There is something called order that you must learn to abide by. God has a certain order, and I know sometimes my daughters are really waving their hand at this, that your parents get on your nerves, just like y'all get on your parents' nerves.
Yes, I do.
But even before us, God has an order even before your parents set an order in the house.
Yes.
And so, what you must understand, everything that you try to do in your life that does not match up with the order of God is going to cause some disorder, some chaos, and some craziness in your life.
Yeah.
And so, in other words, to be successful and to, amen, dodge some of the things that we do go through, sometimes we go through things that almost kill us and almost take us out is because we don't follow what? Order. Anybody ever been in clown at school? Let me see. Anybody ever been in trouble at school for anything?
Yep.
But then you say it was the teachers. The teachers don't like me. Let me hear everybody say the teachers don't like me. They don't like me.
They didn't like me.
Then you go home, tell your mom they don't like me.
I was playing class.
No. It's not that they don't like you. They don't like that you are out of
Order. Yes.
Amen.
And so what happens, what the devil does, the devil already has a target on you because you are anointed and you have something in you called the power of God. He has something so great for you to do. And so the devil says, number one, I'm going to attack that person. Number one, when you first get here, when you're born, before you're born, God has a purpose. And before you're born, the devil has a purpose for you. And so what happens, he says, God, I want permission to cause this person to go do something crazy. God said, okay, I'm gonna let you do it, but you can't kill him. So could it be some of the craziness that you are going through and that you are doing this because God gave the devil permission to let it happen?
My Lord.
And so what happens is, there are two reasons why people go through stuff. Number one, if you are a believer, the Bible says that you are going to suffer and that you are going to go through just because you're saved.
Yes.
For righteousness' sake. That's what the old school. The other reason people go through crazy stuff that's about to take them out is because of poor choices. Anybody besides the preacher ever made a poor choice? Just wait a minute, I'm going to finish preaching. If your parent ever tell you that they had made a poor choice, they lying. Don't tell them that. Don't tell them they lying. Don't say the preacher said you're lying. But I'm saying all of us have made poor choices.
Yes, we have.
And so what happens is, the reason why, because we don't follow the order of God.
Yes.
And so this is what happened to Israel. Israel, they were God's people. They belonged to God. What they got behind themselves, or as the old folks say, they got too big for the britches. Anybody heard that?
Come on now.
Yep.
They got grown. And so they got out of order. Have you ever tried to use your cell phone and you really want to text real good that day and get on Facebook that day, and then the tower or whoever you with, Verizon, AT&T, you can't get through and it just hurt you? Anybody like that? And that's how God feels when we're out of order. And so this is what the children of Israel, they got out of order. And so what God said, look at verse 1. He had to establish order first. He says, listen, I am the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Somebody shout order. Order. Don't care what you're going through. Don't care how you try to run from God. God says, I belong to you, and you belong to me. So now he establishes order first. Don't care if you get way out there, I'm still your God. Don't care how wild you get. How many of y'all can't wait till you leave home? Everybody under 18, how many of y'all you like, man, I can't wait. Let me see. My daughters raise their hand, them 3 back there. But let me tell you something when you leave home. When you get 18, 19. There's going to be a time, probably even when you get 20 and 30, you're going to say, I hate that these bills coming.
Yeah.
Mama, Daddy, I might need to come back home. I need to save some money. See, some of them right there now, I can change the message to preach that to them. Because you realize that because you got a new order and you're learning the ways of, amen, the streets and all that type of stuff, listen, you're going to have time to do all of that. But thank God right now that you got some parents that's trying to show you some order. Because when you get out there on your own, it's a whole nother level. A whole nother order. But here's God. God was establishing this order, Deacon Sims, because he knew the people of God was getting ready to be out of order. So he had to say, even though you out of order, this is the order, and things not going to go right until you follow my order, but this is the order. I am God of all the people of God, and they shall be my people. Don't get it twisted. Tell your neighbor, don't get it twisted. So here's God. In verse 1, he said, don't get it twisted. I know you buck wild. I know you smoking dope. I know you doing the any and everything, but don't get it twisted. I am the God of you, and you belong to me. You ever dated a jealous fool? Y'all don't want to talk to me.
Yes.
Jealous, crazy. Young ladies, young men, if he get the beat on you, get on up out of there, because he'll kill you. Young men, if she getting a cutting on her wrist while she talking to you and crying, run. She crazy. She jealous. Well, God, he's a jealous God. He's a jealous God. And so because he says you're mine and I'm yours, I'm a jealous God. So sometimes because you get out of order, I'm going to step back. The old folks said real love will step back. Real love ain't chasing you down, looking through the window to see where it is in the house, popping outside. No, you crazy. Let him go. That's what God was doing with Israel. He said, I'm going to let Israel go. I'm going to step back. I've already established the order that I love them. Listen, if I establish that I love you, I don't have to keep telling you that I love you. It's already known. And so here's Israel. Look at verse 2. Now watch this. This is the verse that if you don't remember anything else, you got to remember this. He says, number 1, he establishes the order. But look at verse 2, and this is really where I want to shout. Now, if I was at a Baptist church, we can really have church when I say the word grace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He says in verse 2, I've established the order in verse 1. In verse 2, he says, the people which were left. Stop right there. Now he's talking about the people of God who have gone through hell, hot water, trouble, craziness. Am I talking to anybody?
Yes.
I'm talking about the devil been trying to take you out. And some folk he did take out that you ran with, but the devil didn't kill you. He says to give God a 30-second praise offering because you were a survivor. You were left.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Those who were left. You don't remember anything else?
Amen.
Keep reading verse 2. Those who were left of the sword. It didn't kill you. Now, how many of y'all been through something for real? For real? Let me see.
My Lord.
Been through something or going through something for real? Let me see. I'm almost done. Look at verse 2 again. Those who were left. Number one. Survivors. He says, I want to talk to all the surviving people of God who may not even be where you're supposed to be in God. But I've given you some grace. And I left you here. He said, I want to talk to you. Number two, he says, I want to talk to all the people who were not only left, but they were left of the sword. In other words, anytime the Bible uses sword, when it talks about it meant people going through, it means the sword was killing folk. Folk who should have been dead. Folks who the devil tried to take out. How many of y'all some deep thinkers? Let me see if you think deep all the time. Okay, how many of you guys sometimes you can just think so negative, and before you knew it, you just be done thought a whole bunch of negative stuff. Let me see, I'm gonna help you today. Next thing you know, you be like, whoa!
Hey, all right.
Man, don't take no water from Sister Sim. You know, the devil tell you, man, she finna poison me. Sister Sim just trying to give you some water, baby, because you thirsty. But when you a negative thinker,
My Lord, my Lord.
no, I ain't gonna take that. You want some juice? No, you ain't finna poison me. The top is still on here, it hasn't even been broken.
Okay, hold it.
Well, you can punch a hole in it. When you a negative thinker, that ain't juice.
Oh,
It's battery acid, and they put some yellow in it. They put some cake mixing it and turn it yellow. No, I'm not taking it. That's how the devil, he works on your mind.
that's right.
And you think negative. You think the worst instead of the best.
Yes, yes. Come on.
That's being pessimistic.
Absolutely.
And so some of you have survived that. Some of you should be further along in your life, in your career, in your walk with God, in your relationship, amen, because you have survived negative thinking.
My God.
So he said, I want to talk to everybody who survived. Anybody been sick in your body
Yeah.
and you survived?
Glory to God.
Let's get personal. Anybody in here has been diagnosed with anything that you still living, but you know somebody else that died from it? Let me see your hand. Anybody? People have died. Anybody high blood pressure?
Amen.
People have died from high blood pressure, strokes, and aneurysm, and you are still here. So watch this. 15 minutes and I'm done. So watch this. So now we are established in verse 1 that God is establishing this order, that the order is, look, man, you belong to me and I belong to you. Number 2, he goes to verse 2, he says, now I'm talking to everybody who was left behind. Everybody who went through something that it didn't kill them, but it made me stronger. And so now he says, number 2, amen, in verse 2, the only reason that you survived was because you found what? Grace. I need to run over to Beautiful Zion. They're going to shout at me right now. Beautiful Zion, the first Baptist or Second St. John the Baptist folks, you found grace.
That's it.